conversation with character to reflect on my past and present, aware of character defects.
I'm sorry.
The passion, the power, the purpose of unwoven recovery, unity, service, 1 year token.
The most prestigious network in the land.
This is Karikter Asked. You already know, Character did it. I'm here with Liv. Tell me about yourself, bro. What do you do?
I'm a musician, audio engineer, and producer from Lynn, Massachusetts. Up and coming, been doing this for a long time. Just trying to share the world, my inspiration and how I can influence and inspire others, man. Just every day, day to day, you know what I mean?
I feel like if I saw you on the street, I would just know you're a musician.
I get that pretty often, so I'm field.
Hell yeah, bro. So where are you from?
I'm from Lynn, Massachusetts, which is about 30 minutes away from Boston.
And how old are you?
24.
24. All right. Yep. So what was growing up like? What was your childhood like?
A bunch of different cultures were around me, different genres of music. I grew up around classic rock, even metal, gospel music, R&B, hip hop, just everything. So I've always been like, a melting pot of traits myself. So, to be around that kind of environment from my family and from my city, I got to, learn early that it's good to appreciate everything, everything around you, everything that can inspire you to be you. And, it was pretty much like that the whole way. I got into music when I was very young because honestly, my family is already talented. So it wasn't like a thing I found, like I already had it in me. And I just kind of, as I played music for myself, would figure out what I like, what I don't, and, began to explore myself. It started off with drums, then guitar, and then writing, rapping, and then singing, and it just kept going, and it's still going, like it's always expanding. So, it was very different. I wasn't a sports kid. I wasn't very much into, like doing what normal kids do. Like I was always daydreaming about a song I want to make or something that has to do with audio. Like I was always infatuated with it. So I was always, different for that, but it worked out. So.
Hell yeah. What did you do after high school?
So I got accepted into college for marketing. I didn't go. Could have been a good field for me. Yeah. But like, I'm the kind of person, I just do what my heart feels. And, instead of that, I kind of just got into the scene, got into the Boston scene, the Lynn scene of hip hop, and was in cyphers and performed at showcases, open mics, just, how to support me. And things were going well. I was getting traction, and then everyone's favorite day, COVID hit. And that kind of put me into a shift where I was like, fuck, I can't perform. I can't chase it the way I want. So what I ended up doing is building a studio setup, which I'm at right now. And just learning, I made a project called Bermuda, which is basically a project that is full of me learning, learning how to write better, sound better, engineer better, produce, like everything is just, it's a little practice run. I love the project, people love it too, but I see it as just like the beginning, like it's nowhere near what I can do. So, through COVID, I went through that. And then after COVID was dying down a little bit, I realized that music is serious. Like you can't just, you can do it for fun and for the love. Obviously, is where it starts and where it remains, hopefully, for most people. But, it gets to a point where you're going to be an adult about it. And I was like, okay, so I need to have a job that I enjoy so that I'm able to work and not feel drained from it. So I wanted to be an engineer. And I spoke about it to my friends, and I knew some people, and they got me in, and I've just expanded from there. I'm now a verified engineer on engineers.com, which is like a top tier platform.
Okay.
You're an engineer.
Okay.
Anyone listening to this, if you're an engineer, bro, sign up to that website. This is not an ad. This is just changed my life.
I'm not a paid actor.
Right. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting. I basically rejected college and got a job that, most would think college is required for. So I'm grateful,
Hell yeah. So were you recording before COVID hit, when you were just performing and stuff?
Yeah. I wouldn't pay for studio time because people I was around already had their own setups, and I luckily was able to get taught when I was 18 how to record myself, and I just couldn't stop from there. I just kept pressing the record button all the time. Recorded me, so yeah, I was always recording since I was 17, 18 years old.
Hell yeah. What have been the biggest accomplishments that you've seen?
I've seen. I don't have personal accolades as an artist yet. I'm still developing from the ground up, but the kind of personal achievements I would say learning how to articulate yourself through your music in a raw way that still hits is a very big achievement to me. But aside from my artistry, me becoming a verified engineer was definitely my biggest moment where I was like, okay, this is like getting pretty damn serious. Cause you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's been more of like me kind of, you know, taking the job I got to support myself as an artist and watching that go far. So I'm like, you know, letting that ride out and catering to it and catering to my clients and letting that tie into my music as well, you know. I make music with my clients, you know, I feature on their songs and they feature on some of mine, and it just goes back and forth. So it's like a constant thing where, like, you know, both fields that I'm in, they kind of tie in together. So I'm still yet to discover how far I can take that. But so far it's been pretty promising that the future is nothing but bright. So
Are you doing that full time?
yeah, it's freelance work. So I work in a few different studios out here.
Bro, you said you don't have the accolades in music. You are making a living.
You're right. That is a
Do
good
you
way
know
to
how
put
many
it.
people I've interviewed that have said, when I ask them what their dream is, oh, I just want to be able to support myself with my craft. You're doing
I'm
that.
so grateful too. It's true. Like, I definitely am not rich, but I'm definitely like able to
But you're
sustain,
eating,
you know?
bro, and you're doing what
Right.
you love.
Right, and I'm so grateful. And honestly, that's helped me be even more creative, you know? Like, to be able to help people with their music and not just be an engineer. Like, I like to be hands-on, like give them lines to say, or like, you know, help produce and arrange the song. So that has been the biggest blessing, because it doesn't only give me a great career, but it helps me become a better artist as well, you know? Like, I learned from this guy singing. I'm like, oh, he hit that note that way. I'm like, okay, and then we end up working together, and it's just, I'm grateful, bro. Like, you're right. That should have been the real answer.
You're ready next time, man. You're ready next time. But for real, like, you should pat yourself on the back, bro. Like, that is something to be proud of.
Thank you.
What have been the biggest obstacles that you've had to overcome to get here?
Oh, there's been a lot. How do I say this the right way? Not having the right team. I'm the kind of person that I work so much better on my own. And I don't know why. I just feel like I have a great tunnel vision. I know how to maneuver with that. But as soon as somebody else throws something in that, and I'm like, okay, I trust it, it can kind of fuck me up. So I'm not necessarily riding alone. Like, I do have people to support me and stuff that I can work with and all that. But it's like, you know, I've been naive in the past, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, and it kind of knocked me down. But I'm the kind of person that I see obstacles as lessons, you know? I don't see it as like, oh, this is end all be all. Like, no, does it suck to restart sometimes? Hell yeah, it's trash. But like, are you gonna just let that be it and give up? Or are you gonna keep going while you're young or while you're not young? Like, as long as you're alive. I saw Black last night in Boston, 6 Black as people call him. And his girlfriend opened up for him, Quinn, and she said something that stuck with me. She said, as long as you're breathing, there's always a chance to begin again. So, you know, I don't even see obstacles as like, oh, it's in my way. I'm just like, all right, you know, swerve. Like, you know what I mean? Even when they're hard, you gotta swerve. So,
Hell yeah, bro.
But yeah,
Hell yeah.
the biggest one has definitely been like each situation where I felt like, you know, what I wanted to do was out of my control because of somebody else being involved, you know? So.
Sure. Now, I know music has been a part of your life, kind of your whole life, but since it's, you know, you graduated high school and now you're focused on, you're making a living off of it, and you're really, you know, on the personal side and the professional side, you are making your own music and really trying to take off with that. Tell me about the personal impact that has had on you.
I kind of get shocked at how comfortable I am when I say something on the song. Like, I don't say things that are like outrageously vulnerable. Not that it's outrageous to be vulnerable, but like I haven't exposed much of my, like, you know, history yet. I feel like I want to have a bigger audience so that I can, you know, touch more people with what I've been through and let them learn rather than a few people, which, you know, I still am honest with when it comes to my songs. So I get pretty shocked when I hear myself, like, you know, just say it so seamlessly in a song, way more like without effort than I would in the conversation. So it's definitely made me get more in touch with myself as a human being. And I don't necessarily use music as like a way to cope, you know, I use it as a way to tell a story that I've already coped with. So every time, you know, I perform something, whether it's something angry or something sad or something grateful. Like I like to let all my emotions show in different songs. So when people hear that in a crowd or in a song and they hit me up, they're like, I always get told thank you. You know, people always say like, I thank them for supporting me. Like, not thank you for saying that. Like, thank you for saying that line or inspiring me to feel grateful instead of pissed off. Like,
that's everything right there.
Like, yeah, that's what I do it for, bro. Like, I don't, you know, money, accolades, cool, but like for the love of the people and just to know that I can help somebody with a line or two, that's amazing. You know, like that's what I do it for. Music is the one thing that brings everyone together, bro. You know, like you could not even understand English, but if you hear a Drake song, you can bop your head. You know, so I love it, for real.
No doubt, bro. And I gotta go back to one thing you touched on, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's okay. But this is part of what I was really built this platform for. You know, you said that you make your music to help people get through the things you've been through, but you haven't really talked about it. You're waiting. Will you tell me about some of those things? I feel like you did skip over some of the childhood stuff. You know, you told me about your musical background with your childhood. You didn't tell me anything else. So if you want to touch on it, bro, I would love to hear it.
Well, I have a song called Miracle that came out last year. That's one of my like only songs that's not necessarily hip hop or R&B focused. And that song touches on when I was 18 and when I was 20. So when I was 18, you know, out of high school, I felt like the world just slammed on my shoulders. I was working a job I didn't like. I was working 2 jobs I didn't like. I couldn't afford shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know? And then towards the end of that song, I ended up talking about a health scare that I had, where it kind of reflects to be grateful that you're able to have a job and you're able to do normal things that somebody in a wheelchair might not be able to do. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna give the song away because y'all gotta go stream that. You know what I'm saying?
What's it called?
Miracle.
Okay, and it's all streaming platforms?
All streaming platforms.
Right.
Yep. But some other things I've been through. Believe it or not, I was bullied as a kid, but that wasn't, you know, that was such a minor thing now.
You were what as a kid?
Bullied as a kid.
Okay. I mean, it you say minor, but if you're bringing it up, it meant something, you know, like.
At the time, it was the biggest problem in the world, but now I look back and I'm like, that made me tough, you know? So maybe not minor, but resolved. It doesn't have an effect on me. I've had a ton of family issues, a ton of housing scares. Like, bro, it's been a lot of shit I've been through, and it wasn't necessarily like I was in a bad environment. It's just like luck, you know? Like luck just sometimes isn't on your side, but to this day, I'm very grateful that, you know, everything I've been through made me who I am. So, you know, I don't necessarily talk about what I've been through because it's kind of like, to me, dwelling on it sometimes. Like, you know, revisiting something that you already learned and put away is like, you know, cool. But whenever, like I said in my music, that's when I get more like, you know, reflective, because I'm the kind of person when I hear a certain note or a certain chord, I'm taken somewhere, you know, whether it's my imagination, whether it's something I've actually been through or something I've done, like, you know, so there's a bunch of shit I've been through, but we'd be here for a day talking about it.
I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. I fear the day I got to tell my story. I'll say that right now. I pity the fool who asked me that question.
Yeah, I hear you.
What's the dream?
When you say the dream, you meant the lifelong dream or just like the next, like, you know, milestone or two? Because that can mean anything.
Tell me. What's the next milestone or two, and what's the ultimate goal?
I would love to be in LA more. Been there a couple of times, made some connections and some friends, made some music. But the engineers program I'm a part of has a lot of things out there that I want to cater to. It isn't all geographical though. Like, I have a dream one day of, like, you know, going to Berklee College of Music just to learn, you know, the 1 or 2 things I haven't learned that might come up musically. I definitely want to inspire kids that don't know who they are because society makes them feel like they can't be who they are, you know? Like those kids that might have, you know, the kind of outlier feeling of their life. I want to encourage them to be expressive. So I think about opening schools one day to, you know, have some sort of like creative therapy, where if a kid felt like he was good at computers and audio, engineering class. If he felt like he was good at playing the piano and making songs, production class. You know what I'm saying? So it isn't just about my career and like, me taking care of my family, like stuff like that. It's more about, legacy than just right now. So, as I get older and as I learn, my dreams change and they develop more. What I want to pass on, that's the big thing, is I want to pass the torch to whoever's next. I feel like to keep tradition going and keep, inspiration going, to keep society to grow in a positive way, is so important, especially as an artist, because, like I said, that's the one thing people come together for. Any piece of media that's entertainment comes with opinions and stuff, but if we all love hip-hop, we all love rock, and we're all at the same concert, it's easy to come together as people, in such a fucking crazy world. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to contribute to that, for real. I want to be a person that's known for contributing to peace, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a chill guy. I don't like to deal with bullshit. Like, I'd rather just make a good-ass song, have everyone listen to it, and have them feel positive by it, and it won't change their life,
I love that, bro. I love that. Mad respect to that.
Thank you.
What do you think about the status of the music industry today?
I don't like it. I honestly, I kind of despise it. I feel like it's so, like, repetitive, bro. Like, as soon as one trend comes out, everyone's trying to do that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear, like, no disrespect to people who are trying, because I respect anyone who's trying, but it's like, bro, it's so easy for anyone to just, like, get on a mic and say something. It's like, cool, but, like, what are you saying? What are you saying that's actually you? You know what I'm saying? Like, no one, like, there's so many people out there making music, and I respect all of it, but I just don't like it when they're trying to copy somebody or, like, copy and paste it because they want to blow up. I feel like I was having this convo earlier. Like, music has become so much more about clout, bro, than it is about music. And it's like, that's not what music ever was until, like, the 2020s, maybe late 2010s, when TikTok came around and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not hating on it, though. Like, it's different ways to make it now because of that. But I just feel like it's fast food, bro. I don't feel like, I don't feel the same substance from music that I did when I was a teenager. Not to sound like an old head, but it's just, I'm still young and can hear the young shit, but it's like, ain't the same. The beats don't hit the same. The voices don't sound the same and as distinctive. Like, back when we had, like, TDE and YMC and B and all them coming out, it was different. It was new. It was a breath of fresh air, So I definitely hope that music goes in a direction that's less about, like, trying to have your viral moment and more about connecting with people, bro. That's the whole point of music, Like,
absolutely, bro. And anybody, go ahead.
Like, the fuck I look like making a song for 6 hours just to be like, oh, this TikTok blows up. Like, no, bro. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? That's meaningless. That's not what music was.
Right, because it's temporary at that point.
Right, yeah. It's like, it's, I feel like it's kind of disrespectful to have music be treated as a post. Like, you just scroll, like, what? Like, that's effort.
Hey, look, nothing that trends on TikTok is going to be remembered as a classic. I don't care what you say.
Bro, people always tell me, oh, you should get on TikTok more. I'm like, cool, I could, but, like, why? Like, I'm not going to chase clock for a day. Hey, like, what the fuck? I want this to last. Like,
look, on that note, anybody who's watching, I'm not going to talk about it, but I have to tell you about MuseIQ, because MuseIQ can do that. It is a new app. I'll tell you about it after the interview, but I promise you it's going to change independent music. Do you have anything coming up you want to talk about?
I don't have any set release dates, but I'm getting some songs ready, and they are by far my best work.
Okay.
Just dropped Intent a few weeks ago, almost a month ago, actually. That song has been pretty well received. People love it. It's a really good crowd song. People start jumping to it.
Hell yeah.
I got some songs coming out that are more introspective and more, like, kind of, reflective and honest, but I got some bangers too, bro. Right now I'm kind of focused on singles because I feel like if I'm going to make songs quickly the way I do, I want them all to hit individually, and they're gonna be great and people are gonna love them. But I want to get to a point where I make a project, and that's gonna be a lot more diverse in genre bending, and I'm gonna go crazy on it. But right now, no set dates, but I'm thinking about dropping again in the winter. Definitely in the spring for sure, and it's gonna go up from there. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what you're putting out, because I know it's all gonna be different every time, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Sure.
Before we end it, is there any kind of life lesson that you want to leave people with?
There's so many I could say.
I mean, say them all.
Honestly, just be yourself. And that's cliche to say, but like be yourself to me means like, you know, accept the trials and tribulations. Accept that being yourself is going to come with resistance sometimes, you know. A lot of times society is very conditioning and you don't want to conform to that because you're not supposed to. You know, I'm a big fan of anybody who doesn't want to go to college because they just don't fucking want to. Kanye didn't go. I mean, he went, but he dropped out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, all billionaires go to college and drop out. I don't care.
He made it easy, bro. And he made fucking every album before that. So it's like,
damn right.
be like Kanye without the bullshit. Without the crazy shit.
Yeah, but I mean, just chill, though. Just chill.
Be the old Kanye, the chop the soul Kanye. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely want people to acknowledge and accept themselves, bro. I see so many people day to day that just don't do what they want because they're so like, oh, well, I can't because I'm gonna fail. It's like, fuck that shit. So if you fail, so what? Learn from it, go again. What the hell? Like, you know what I mean? Stop being scared. That's something else too, is don't be scared. Shoot the shots. Shoot the shots, get that person up. Make that song exactly switch, bro. Like, I could go on and on, but at the end of the day, just, you know, cater to yourself. And this is going to artists as well, or anybody else listening. You know, cater to yourself as a human being. Don't just do it in an artist or a job way. Like, that's important as an adult, but when you cater to yourself as a human being and you learn more about yourself and your history and your family, like, that all plays a part in how you take care of yourself and how you move in a professional / artistic world. So, bruh, like, peel those layers back, you know? Go to therapy if you got to. Like, talk to people, you know, learn yourself, learn the good and the bad and work with it and just make something beautiful out of it. Period.
Damn, you could tell you're a songwriter because everything you say just kind of flows with life lessons. I mean, it's beautiful, bro, for real.
I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Hey, this has been an awesome episode of Karikter Asked with Lib. Follow him up, hit him up. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
See y'all.
Hey, that was great, bro. That was great. We done, but that was fucking awesome.
Thank you so much.
But yo, I'm
The most prestigious network in the land, the Signature Series Network.